Steve, can we please have, sorry, Tollman, can we please have a one-word prompt?
Shitbird.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I mean, that's definitely a contender for best line of the movie. I do have another one in mind.
I have a couple.
More than that. I did look up, of course, this is one of the movies where fans have made me like one-liner compilation on YouTube videos.
Of course.
But I don't know, even that, they're not that good.
Hold on. Hey, welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your hosts, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Hi, CJ.
This is the show where we talk over TV shows and movies, typically chosen by our guests, but all month long, baby, it's ExpendMaybles.
ExpendMaybles. Get it?
That's right.
Because it's the month of May.
Every week in May, we're watching the next Expendables movie.
All available on Max.
Yeah. Can't say I'm really looking forward to
Ken's
this.
Been shaking his head this entire time.
But, it's going to be something. And,
it's definitely going to be something.
You sure will. I don't know how many people are going to be able to really watch along. I mean, they could. It's just, do they want to? I don't know.
Yeah. Also, it's probably like you could watch the trailer and you have watched the movie. Like that's 100%. About, yeah, that's about 100%. As much as the movie gives.
Or the one-liners compilations on YouTube.
Yeah. Which shout out to user God Loves Movies 2 for making that compilation.
Good to know.
Yeah.
It's sanctioned by Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The big guy. All right, Ken. I'm going to bring him on.
Bring him on.
Our guest all month long is... It's the Toolman!
Hey-oh! The boys are back in town.
The boys are back, baby!
Hell yeah.
I think that song coming on at the end of the movie was the best part of the movie.
Absolutely. I raised my arms when it came out.
Yeah. I was excited for that.
How do you not?
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's get this out of the way right at the top. Steve, you've famously only ever seen Fast and Furious movies and maybe Citizen Kane, but it sounded more like Ocean's 11.
It was ended up being Ocean's 11, so I still have not watched Citizen Kane.
Are you breaking your rule for us for this month?
Yeah, I think we've all been on a hell of a journey together, and I've realized that there are more movies to watch. And, I mean, you two clearly watch a lot of movies, and I thought I was good with the under 15 that I've done. But I think I might expand it to maybe like 20.
Yeah,
okay.
And if there were any movies to expand your movie viewing experience on,
the Expendables.
Yeah, exactly.
Expendables movies. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this seems right up my alley. The movie started with some motorcycles, and those are just like little cars. So I felt right at ease going into it. And, there's violence. There's action. There's cheesy one-liners.
Yeah, amazing.
It checks a lot of the boxes.
It's really very similar. Yes, absolutely.
Do we even want to break for a trailer? Is that necessary? I guess
I feel like we do need to. I feel like we do need to because I'm sure that trailer is something.
Explain it a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll take just a really quick break. Listen to this awesome trailer that I'm sure it is, and we'll be right back. Right back. We'll be right back.
They are the world's greatest mercenaries. The only life they've ever known is war. The only loyalty they've ever had is to each other.
So, we are working for the agency.
I gotta recon this island first.
The only thing you need to know is the job's real and the money's real. Give this job to my friend here. He loves playing in the jungle, right?
Right.
What happened to you?
Got my ass kicked.
I watched the trailer earlier today and was like, they have like the most movie guy voice come on to start the trailer.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, is the trailer all just gunshots and knife stabbing sounds?
Is there anything in it?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I think towards the end it gets into action, but it definitely paints them as a like they're changing their ways and rewriting history. It's like, it seems like this is exactly what their skills
That's
are.
backstory I never got.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing exactly what they've always been doing.
Yeah.
And we're back on the Overtalking Podcast, joined all month long by Tollman Steve. And this week we're talking about the Expendables 1. Steve, we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who has not yet seen the Expendables 1, which, by the way, what are you doing? Tell them what it's all about, Steve.
Ready, go.
So I'm normally really bad at these, but I think anyone would be really bad at this one because I watched that movie all the way through and I really don't know what the plot was. But loosely, Sylvester Stallone and his gang of jacked guys who are bad actors, they have to, like, I don't know, there's some kind of drug cartel going on and they were in the CIA or something. And then there's a girl that he doesn't kiss at the end of the movie and he's trying to save her.
Time. And thank God he doesn't.
Yeah, man. The age difference alone, but also, like, who is that? Like, this movie is stacked with, I mean, not great actors, but, like, people you know. And then the main love interest is, who is that person? I've never seen that person before.
No
There's
clue.
2 girls in the whole movie.
There's 2 girls in the whole movie.
And one of them is Buffy's friend from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy's friend, yes.
Yeah, you know this passes the Bechdel test with flying colors.
Yeah, because it has 2 women.
That never talk to each other.
That's the new qualification for them.
And one of them gets tortured and the other gets punched.
Yeah, they both get punched.
They both get punched.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Look, what more could you expect from a Sylvester Stallone directed and written movie?
Yeah, incredible. Okay, so and to paint a picture, Ken, I want to hear what your viewing experience was. Steve and I watched this together in a rowdy screening, if you will, at my place with friends of the show, Eric and Carissa. And yeah, we were watching the movie and still were kind of lost and questioning things. Then there wasn't that much to really question those. I don't think it mattered.
So I watched this. I have like a very nice TV that I usually watch all these movies on. And I watched this one on our shitty bedroom TV in bed, kind of coming and going. Didn't really seem like I missed a whole lot, honestly. It was, I don't know. I got the basic plot, but like it wasn't really anything.
Can you explain that?
The plot?
So what I got is, there's some sort of drug cartel. Everyone works for Bruce Willis, who is the CIA, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really understand the dynamic between the lower level drug cartel guy and Eric, what's his face?
Eric Roberts,
yeah,
who is probably the best actor in this entire movie.
Yes,
absolutely.
We said that.
Yep, hands down.
Times.
Yeah,
really carrying any scene he's in.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if even beyond that, Jason Statham is probably the next best actor, which really is saying something about the quality of acting.
And they're both not even that good either.
Right?
They're just like setting the bar, and everyone else is not even close to it.
Right. They're the only ones who are actually in movies.
Yeah. Jason Statham is good at the only thing he does. He plays the same character in every movie he's in. So that's why he's like, he's passable at that. Yeah.
I had no notes for him. I thought he did the same thing, and I liked all of it.
Yeah.
He hit the mark for what he does. Yeah, absolutely.
I did note that I think this is the first movie I've seen Jason Statham smile multiple times in. We get like maybe a half chuckle at one point. It's like, oh, wow, he feels things. That isn't anger.
I mean, that would make sense for his name.
Which is Lee Christmas.
Oh, God.
Lee Christmas. And
Lee
there
Christmas.
were no Christmas lines. Or was there one?
Nope.
No.
If there was, I missed it.
Terry Crews at one point mentions Christmas, but it's not like a play on words or anything. He just says like, remember this at Christmas or something like that.
Right. In a completely unrelated remark. Like totally missed the opportunity to draw that to his name.
Awful. Okay. I feel like we do the listeners a disservice if we don't run down all of the people in this movie. Because the cast
and their names
and the character names are very important.
Yes, they are.
Do you have that up, Steve?
I do.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so at the top, number one, of course, Sylvester Stallone, Sly, plays Barney Ross. Okay. It's like
pretty normal name.
It's a normal name.
I mean, a little bit. It kind of sounds like Barney Rubble a little bit. Yeah. That's where my head goes.
Flintstones fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Second billing, Jason Statham as Lee Christmas. Which,
why?
Okay. I don't know why. I said his first name should be Happy because he's British. That to me would make more sense. Then you have... Yeah.
His daughter could be Mary.
No, but British people say Happy Christmas. They don't say Merry Christmas. That's why.
Well, maybe he marries that the American girl.
Yeah, Buffy's
friend.
Yeah,
she's American.
Then you have Jet Li, who is great, a true action star, but his name is Yin Yang, which big yikes.
I'm gonna guess it took them multiple tries to settle on that name.
They did, yeah. When going through trivia, another one was like Kong.
Oh, I was doing a bit.
No, it's real. Yeah.
Oh man.
And then they settled on Yin Yang, which seems even worse. I don't know.
Just as bad. Then you have Dolph Lundgren as Gunnar Jensen.
I actually like that one.
He's an action guy, Gunnar. I like that. Yeah. Eric Roberts plays James Monroe. Very normal name. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Randy Couture, for those of you who don't know, major UFC champion. His name, of course, is this is his first and last name. So 2 names. Toll Road.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just spelled the way you expect it, right?
It's spelled exactly.
Now, explain to me, is that even fun? Like, what is that?
It's basically like naming a character Highway. I don't understand.
They make no references to their names.
No.
In a way that you'd expect them to even write like a cheesy joke about it.
Yeah. Why name these ridiculous things if you're not going to then have fun with it and have like one-liners?
Well, that's the thing. Like, this movie isn't a comedy. Like, it doesn't try to be a comedy.
No.
And
so why are all these names so
weird? Oh, yeah, I guess a little bit. But like, yeah, why all these weird-ass names? I just don't get it.
I don't either.
And there's still more.
And there's more to come. More. Yeah, we're only like 5 people in, and this cast is so long. Okay, Stone Cold Steve Austin. His name, he's like Cher. He only has one name. Pain. Paine. His name is Pain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And he has about
on the nose.
3 lines in the entire movie. It's mostly just looks.
That's for the best.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he really did horrible with all of his opportunities to speak too.
Oh my God. Dude, the whole movie, he's standing next to Eric Roberts. Again, probably the best actor in this movie. Just really, the contrast there is so stark.
How did they get him to do? He's like, oh, you want to just hang out with all your buds, but you're also going to be this guy's like bodyguard the whole time and have no role besides waterboarding one of the 2 female characters and punching her in the face first.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, sign me up. That sounds cool.
I love waterboarding women.
Yeah.
Smacking her so hard she gets thrown into a truck.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Then you have David Zayas. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct. He's General Garza, a.k.a. Sergeant Angel from Dexter. That's where I knew him from.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Then you have the main woman character of the entire movie, Giselle, don't know how to pronounce her last name, Ite, who plays just Sandra. Doesn't get her last name, even though it's established that she's the daughter of General Garza, but she's credited as just Sandra.
Well, yeah, it's got to be Sandra Garza then, right?
Yeah. But according to IMDb, nope, she only gets a first name.
No. She's not doing it.
Just the scriptwriter, who's that? I don't know. Yeah, couldn't bother to piece that together.
Definitely someone smart. Then you have Buffy's friend, a.k.a. Charisma Carpenter. Her name is just Lacey. Then you have Gary Daniels, who's credited as the Brit. He's the other British guy that's not Jason Statham. That also only has like 2 lines in the whole movie, but is somehow credited above all these other people.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to Terry Crews' character yet. How is that
He's
possible?
next. So then you have Terry Crews, whose name is Hail Caesar. Hale.
Oh my God. This is the kind of character names that I would have came up with for my freshman year of high school, like screenplay that I was writing, which isn't a thing, but if I were, that's what it would be.
Yes.
But like still as a joke.
Yes.
Right. It still is a joke. 100%
Yeah.
as a joke. Not as like a real serious big budget movie or anything. Yeah.
And again, they're naming all these people and they never acknowledge the name or like do any sort of puns or play on words.
Name. Toll Road.
Toll Road.
Look,
you tell him to hit the road.
We're at the first
Something
movie
like
of
that.
a 4-movie franchise so far.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's some hope. There's some room to grow. We'll see.
We still got a couple more character names though.
Sorry, Ken, are you implying your fingers are crossed for a fifth one? Is that what that?
We don't know.
Okay, then you have Mickey Rourke, who again, so far down on the list and has like a monologue in the movie.
Yeah.
His name is just Tool.
Okay.
We should have known because outside his tattoo parlor it just says Tools.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have known his name is only Tool.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to skip through all the basically the no lines kind of backgrounders to get to a surprise appearance from Arnold Schwarzenegger, whose name is Trench.
Is it just Trench?
Just Trench, parentheses uncredited.
Also, do we know what his role in the movie was?
Yeah, he was the. I mean, this is the only scene that I like actually try to pay attention for because A, it's the only thing that actually leads to the plot, and B, it has two of the biggest stars in Hollywood in it. But yeah, he is like the rival, like leader of a rival gang or whatever the hell the Expendables are.
Oh,
mercenary.
Who was like potentially also going to be up for doing this job.
And Bruce Willis was the guy who like picked them for this.
Yeah. He's apparently a representative for the CIA, is what they believe.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's part of the CIA, but Eric Roberts is also part of the CIA.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I think he was ex-CIA, but then he really wanted to get into drugs.
Maybe.
I guess.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
Wasn't explained well.
No.
But yeah, so that's your cast of characters in the first movie.
What was Bruce Willis's name?
Well, he says he doesn't want to share his name, so he calls him Mr. Church. So that's what he's credited as, Mr. Church.
Okay.
Because they were in a church?
Because they meet up in a church.
Yeah. At least that one is like tied back
sense.
to something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Toll Road.
Because
it's where I was conceived. Like,
name a character Expressway, why don't you? While we're on Bruce Willis, this is one of the two contenders in my mind for the best line of the movie, and it comes from Mr. Bruce Willis when him and Sly first meet up in this church, and it goes a little something like this.
Let's quit jerking off. Get down to business, see who's hungry.
Let's quit jerking off and get down to business to see who's hungry.
a lot of bodily functions happening in this little sentence.
A common phrase we all have heard and use.
It sets the tone. I think it sets the tone for a lot of even the lines in that scene. There's a couple of lines in the rest of that scene that are also right.
There are. Yeah. Do you have the other one, Siege? That he I think he says when Arnold Schwarzenegger enters, they're looking at each other, and I think Bruce Willis says, "You gonna suck each other off" or something like that. Like literally something like that.
There was some. I didn't write down that one.
God.
That was ad-libbed by Bruce Willis, by the way.
There's a different one that I watched on a YouTube compilation that I didn't catch the first time. But Arnold Schwarzenegger is like, "Oh, you want to get dinner?" And Sly is like, "Yeah, when?" He's like, and Arnold's like, "In 1,000 years." And then Sly's like, "That's too soon." And then he walks away. That's the exchange.
I don't remember that.
Was it in the extended version?
The
I don't remember seeing that. I remember I was like,
it could be in one of the later movies. I don't know.
No, it was them in the church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sadly found out after watching the movie on Max, I was like, "Oh, there's the little extras section. What's that?" And you click on that, and there's an extra 10-minute version of the movie.
Oh, shit.
I'm assuming it's in there, and we really screwed up by not watching.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna check
for
on
the next
that.
ones. We'll check for those. Yeah.
Gonna make sure to watch the expended cut.
Really gotta drag this out as much as possible.
Yeah.
But who knows? There could have been some major plot points that would have explained things better. But
I mean,
more than likely,
any more dialogue probably would have been helpful.
Yeah,
at least funnier. I also, a different clip I pulled up was I just searched Expendables highlights, and there was maybe one line in like a 7-minute video The rest of it was just like gunfire. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Like if you're going to boil it down, there's probably only going to be like 2 words.
Yeah. I also I was in charge of basically watching the movie holding the volume remote in my hand the entire time.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I had to keep turning it up and down.
So bad.
Holy crap.
It's truly horrible. I probably picked up maybe 60% of the words.
Yeah.
And there weren't that many words to begin with.
And it doesn't help that like the main guy that's supposed to be explaining the movie to us is Sylvester Stallone, who just sounds like
one of the most articulate
garbled
people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I can't. I so badly want to be a fly on the wall of like him directing the movie and like instructing his like first AD to set up shots and stuff like that. You gotta, Adrian.
We were talking about how some of the shots were just so zoomed in. Or a lot of the shots, like Mickey Rourke's monologue in that mirror.
It's just his eyes to like his mouth. Like that's.
And they use that shot for like the whole monologue, and every time they cut back to Sly, it's his reflection in the mirror, and they use the same shot. They don't get both of them standing next to each other or anything. You're just like, okay, he's watching him through the mirror, and Mickey Rourke is zoomed in 30% of his face.
Yeah,
eyes to mouth.
Is this Sylvester Stallone's first directing gig?
Let's find
I
out.
assumed first and last.
God willing.
I know he doesn't direct the rest of them.
Yeah.
Thank God. He directed Rambo.
He directed Rambo?
I didn't know he did that.
Oh my God.
What? I'm sure
And
there's a lot of people listening to this who are like, you guys didn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'll run you down his directing credits. Back in 1979, he starts with Paradise Alley.
I've heard of that.
Then he directs Rocky 2, Rocky 3, the movie Staying Alive, and Rocky 4.
I had no idea he directed any of those.
Seriously?
Then he directs Rocky Balboa in 2006.
Man.
He writes and directs that one. Wow.
Holy
Just by himself. It wasn't a co-director thing or
Rocky Balboa, he is the only credited director.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Same with Rocky 2, written and directed.
That's insane. Wow. I'm literally blown away.
Yeah.
Given the directing ineptitude of this movie, really, I mean, I've seen Rocky 2 and 3 and 4, and they're decent movies. Like, what the?
Yeah. Something must have happened in the interim.
I think that must go to show that he had a very talented first AD and cinematographer that would just probably just takes over and
well, I mean,
helps him out.
That's the thing too. I always wonder like how, and I'm sure I'm just not well informed, but like how well of a directing job can you really do if you are starring in the movie as well? Like I guess a lot of it's like before the take, right? So maybe it doesn't matter that much, but I don't know.
I was thinking about that, especially on that scene where that plane is taken off from the water and he's running to get back on it. God. And first of all, his running is absolutely insane to watch. And then he dives and catches the door of the plane like Tom Cruise style.
Uh-huh.
And then he's on there for like a while. So I don't know how they're shooting any of that, but I'm picturing him like getting up all soaked and he's like, all right, cut. That was perfect. One take. We nailed it.
Yeah, his run, I was laughing out loud.
Yeah, we were all started laughing as soon as he started running.
Yeah,
it's like half kind of limping or like something's. Yeah, I don't mean to go down like an IMDb rabbit hole, but because I was curious, so Rocky 2 has the same cinematographer as Jaws.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and Grease and Anaconda. So I'm.
Wow.
I'm suspecting that
that's
the other
that's
people around him.
Seems like that would help.
Yeah. So that maybe is why.
All right, time to close out of IMDb, Siege.
Okay.
I'm afraid you're gonna see some stuff that you shouldn't see yet.
All right. Well, because we talked about that, so in my mind, Bruce Willis's line, one of the best. The other might be the best line is spoken by Dolph Lundgren, and I think we all know what it is, and it goes like this.
This case is a bloody joke.
Life's a joke. Shit bird!
That's my favorite line. The way he starts with
the cadence.
Life's a joke. Shit bird. He jumps up and pitch, and then he just punches the hell out of the Brit.
The Brit.
That was like
That's
one of
pretty
his
good.
only lines. The Brit's only lines too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that one didn't stick out to me when I watched it, but yeah, that's pretty good.
You didn't laugh at Shitbird?
I mean, there's a lot of random crap that's in this movie. I don't know.
Question for you, Ken. Going into this, who did you think was going to be the worst actor in it, and who do you think was the worst actor?
Well, here's the thing. Like, this is something we didn't establish at the top, but I've seen this before. Have either of you seen this
what?
before?
Oh, no, I have not seen this.
No.
Oh, I went to theaters, and I think I saw this in the theater when it came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much of it did you remember?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
I remember the church scene, maybe.
Okay.
And that was it. Because I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger being in the trailer. And
then he's in it for 10
seconds. And then he's in it for
God.
one scene.
Why would they put him in the
I remember being
trailer?
like, what the hell?
They knew exactly
Yeah, I
what
don't
they were
remember
doing.
anything. Of course. So it doesn't really matter that much. But this is the only one I've seen. I haven't seen any of the others.
Okay.
I trust that also that is true for you as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the question?
Worst actor going into the movie, and who do you think ended up being the worst actor?
Well, I didn't remember everyone who was in the movie to begin with, so I kind of assumed that Stallone was going to be pretty bad going into it. Coming out, though, 100%, it is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just cannot emote to save his life, is just slab of meat, just standing next to true talent of Eric Roberts the whole movie. So that's who I would say. What would you say, Steve?
Steve and I were talking about this. Coming out of the latest Aquaman movie, I thought Dolph Lundgren for sure was going to be the worst actor in this because he was so bad in that movie and took me out of the movie so much. So that was my vote. I think he's definitely still up there, but yeah, Stone Cold was pretty bad too. I think I'm biased though against maybe Dolph Lundgren and still think it might be him. Steve, what about you?
There's tons to pick from. Yeah. What do you think, Steve?
I was Dolph pre-game, and now I'm Stone Cold post-game. It's but to what you're saying about Aquaman, I had the same experience where I was taken out of it by his acting. But in this movie, there's so many people acting on the same level that you're kind of just out of it the whole time, and then you get out of it another step when Stone Cold starts talking. So I was like, that's what seals him as the worst of all of these people, because even Dolph had some funny lines, and I was like, you're all equally bad, so that's fine.
Right.
I did. Speaking of Stone Cold, there is that like multiple minute scene with Eric Roberts. They're in like an office or something like that, where I think at least 3 times somebody says something and Stone Cold's acting is Eric Roberts looks at him and Stone Cold just gives a look and doesn't say anything. And then they go back to the conversation and they keep talking
to him.
And then they cut to him again and he just kind of like nods or grunts or something.
They probably changed that in post because he probably did talk, and they're like, "No, this is even worse."
Yeah, can't
that's
use
probably
that.
true.
Yeah,
that's
let's just use the
true.
same thing of him looking because it accomplishes the same thing.
God.
Oh my God.
Before we jump into trivia too, I have one trivia question.
Okay.
I'm about to play a line from Jason Statham, and I want you to tell me what movie it's from, or at least guess at it.
Okay. Wow. There's a lot.
Yeah. All right. Here's the line.
I know what's at stake, and I know how expendable we are.
It's got to be Fast and Furious 7.
It's Jason Statham saying, "I know how expendable we are."
It's not this movie, is it?
It's not in this movie.
Okay.
That is from
Fast and Furious 7.
It's from 2008's The Bank Job.
Okay.
Oh.
I know Stallone says something very similar in Rambo, which is, I think, where he got the idea.
Oh, got it.
I came across some YouTube compilation. I was like, wait, he just said he was expendable. That's not even from the movie.
Can we real quick talk about his basketball scene?
Yes.
Ken, were you paying attention when that scene happened?
Yeah.
This is maybe one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and I actually was paying attention the whole time. The context is Buffy's friend, her new guy punches her in the face, which is a big no-no, and Jason Statham's like, I'm going to go find this guy. So they drive together to this basketball court where this guy and his friends are playing. He's fully sweating. His friends are not sweating, first of all, which is hilarious. Jason Statham walks out, and the guy's like, "What do you want?" And Jason Statham's like, "Your life." And then he starts just beating the shit out of all these guys. takes the basketball, slams it on this guy's face, and you see his knife come up in the air, and he slams the knife down into the basketball and doesn't kill this guy. And he's like,
I still want to fight all your balls.
and that's how they leave it. That's the end of that scene.
Yeah.
So, look, there is room for improvement. I really, really hoped that when he rolled up on the motorcycle, which he drove all the way onto the court, that he was going to challenge them all to 1v5 BB ball.
I was hoping he picks up the basketball, and I'm like, I'm hoping he just shoots it and just drains a jumper and leaves them all on the ground bleeding.
Please.
Yeah.
But no, he had to stab it with his knife. He's a big knife guy in this movie. I don't know if you guys caught that.
He is. That's his thing. Look, there's room for improvement. Hopefully 2, 3, or Expendables will handle that. But
more basketball scenes?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
There's another scene I want to talk about really quick. Jet Li's character, which I'm not going to repeat his character name. Just randomly, I don't know if you guys caught this exchange with him and Stallone, but he's saying, I need more money for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And Stallone says, what family? And Jet Li says, my family. And then Stallone just shrugs. And that's, I think, supposed to be funny, but it's real weird in the moment.
Doesn't that happen after a whole scene of Jet Li being like, I want more money?
Yeah.
And he says that like 3 times. And you're like, okay, we get it. You want more money. And then he says that family line, and it's like, it was so confusing.
Yeah. Earlier in the movie, he says, I want more money. And they say, why? And he says, like, his son or something like that and his family. And then it's Jet Li and Sly in a car together. And then Jet Li says that stuff, but then follows up by saying, I don't have a family. And Sly says, I know. It's like, what just happened?
You're right. They follow up later on in that car scene.
Yeah.
We had already kind of established that, he probably doesn't have a family, and then he full on admits it, and then it's still kind of going, and it's just, what the hell is this?
It really accomplishes nothing, and they use that whole thing as a way to talk about how short he is, too. That's always weaved into his lines.
Right.
And then when they start getting into the action sequence, he's like, oh, shoot them out of the window, and he's like, why? And he's like, because you're small. And he's like, all right.
And the rest of that scene, he's hanging out in the back of this car while Sly's driving it around. Doing nothing, like literally just being easier to hit with the bullets that are flying.
Right.
I don't understand what happened in that whole scene. So weird.
And there was a different scene where Dolph and Jet Li get into a one-on-one fight. And there was a line I wrote down where Dolph looks at him and says, what are you wearing, size 3? Bring it, happy feet. I don't remember hearing that during the movie. I don't know if that's from the expanded cut either, but it was on the YouTube. Cut. Yeah. The 1 minute and 30-second compilation of lines that I saw.
Yeah, that came up in the one-liner compilation I saw as well.
Yeah,
bring it, happy feet. But they left out the size 3 part. They just said, so in the one I watched, it was just Dolph saying, bring it, happy feet. I was like, why is that? Yeah, I have no context for why that's
you need
a
the
funny
context
line.
of people making fun of his height, because that's a through line for the whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. I was missing that.
All right, one last scene before we get to trivia. The plane scene. Stallone runs and gets back on the plane and then turns the plane around because they were getting away, but they're like, no, that's not enough. And they circle the island, come back around to this pier that they left from behind and start shooting it up. And as they're passing over, they drop what I can only assume is fuel or something that's flammable onto the pier. Mm-hmm. And then they light it on fire, but it doesn't just light on fire. The whole thing explodes for some reason. Like, what kind of liquid just explodes when it's lit on fire like that? What is that?
Fire go boom. That's the logic of the movie.
You're thinking too hard about it, Ken.
Yeah. I know I am.
Well, what they probably did was put a couple of those like C4 charges, whatever, under that pier beforehand, because they clearly had plenty of those to go around. The scene at the end. Right. He was putting them down like every 4 feet. He's like, one here, one here, and just running down the hallway. I'm like, that's probably too much. You probably could get the same job done with less of that C4.
I love too that they were choosing like giant thick marble walls to put the C4 on. It's like, put it on the ceiling or something that is less like.
All right. Girl got waterboarded. That's my last note. That's just that's something that happened in the movie.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Punched. Yeah. Both at the hands of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Dude, he's stone cold.
Yes.
We had probably 2 decapitations, right? and then one guy who had his neck snapped.
Yeah, the Brit.
And then we had a scene in that last place that they were fighting, and Terry Crews comes up, and he just kills everyone.
Mows down
He's just
all
pumping
of them.
bullets into all of them, and they're like, yeah, why were you all fighting hand to hand this whole time? Terry Crews is the only guy that had the right idea.
Yeah.
He killed everyone within the span of 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Not just shooting them with bullets, but like blowing up body parts with whatever caliber bullets.
The biggest caliber bullet. All right. I think we've danced around it long enough. It's time for trivia.
Hey, did you know that?
That's right. I already said it, but it's the time where we pit our guests and CJ head to head to see who knows the most about what we watched. Tollman, CJ, are you two ready?
Ready.
Did you change it to Tollman?
Tollman. Oh, I should.
Oh, yeah.
That's it from now on.
Maybe that's my new thing for this series.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense, but it doesn't have to because it doesn't make sense for Random
Right.
Tour either.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. First question is multiple choice.
Perfect.
So just say it at any point. The role of Mr. Church was originally offered to what other actor? Was it A, Arnold Schwarzenegger, B, Mickey Rourke, C, Kurt Russell, or D, Roddy Piper?
I want it to be Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell
I'm going to say that.
makes a lot of sense, but given the rest of the cast, it's probably Rodney Piper.
Steve, you got the point. But it was also Arnold Schwarzenegger. They offered him that part first, and then I don't know why they switched
And he's like,
it.
no, I'll take Trench.
Trench.
And they're like, okay.
The thing I saw in IMDb trivia was said that he didn't want to spend too much time in the movie because of his political involvement, but he's in it as just as much now as Bruce Willis is. So I don't understand.
Yeah. Bruce Willis is in the movie for an extra 10 seconds than Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's it.
I don't know. All right. Next question. How many injuries did Sylvester Stallone sustain during this movie? Making the movie, like in real life.
I mean, the way he hobbled in that running down the dock, I feel like that's at least one or two.
Was he hurt, or is that just how he runs?
I don't know. I'll save what I was about to say in case there's a question. I'm gonna guess like 23 times. I bet you.
Okay.
He's old.
What defines an injury in this? Like, I stubbed my toe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll do an even 10.
Steve's closer. It was 14. That includes breaking a tooth, rupturing his ankle. That sounds bad.
That explains the running.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing you could do to an ankle.
Rupture? Oh God.
I mean, explode.
And getting a hairline fracture in his neck that required the surgical insertion of a metal plate.
Oh my God. What was he doing?
I don't know. He also had bronchitis and shingles during the shoot. He later said he never fully recovered from the injuries. It did such a number on my body. I've never been the same. Never, he said.
I don't know why, but shingles is the best one.
Shingles is pretty good. Wow. Okay. Next question. Mickey Rourke split filming his scenes in this movie with his appearance in what other film? First person to yell
Iron
it
Man
out.
2.
Iron Man 2. Fuck.
Yeah, CJ got it.
He has the same look. It's the same hair.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
It's like he just walked over from one set to the other.
Probably. He was only available for 48 hours to film his scenes in this movie.
His beautiful monologue.
Yeah.
Which then Sylvester Stallone just leaves at the end of that.
Yeah.
He's just making a really important point, and he's just like,
I couldn't even tell you what he talked about. I have no idea what he talked about.
Someone died.
yeah, he could have saved someone who was going to commit suicide, and he didn't. And he's like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. All right, next.
It's important for the plot.
Not. The role of Hail Caesar was originally offered to what other actor? Was it A, Wesley Snipes, B, Forrest Whitaker, C, 50 Cent, or D, Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme makes sense in the old action star persona. I'm going to say him.
Okay.
I want to say Wesley Snipes. Is he in one of the future movies?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is.
Okay. I'm going to say Wesley Snipes.
Okay. Wesley Snipes is one of the answers. There are multiple. CJ, you did not pick one. Sorry. Wesley Snipes was who was originally offered to, but he couldn't accept because of all of his tax problems. He couldn't even leave the country.
Yeah.
Then it was offered to Forrest Whitaker. They rewrote the role for him specifically, but he had to leave for a scheduling conflict.
They rewrote the role for him.
Yeah,
How many lines did he have?
I don't know what that means. Then they offered it to 50 Cent, who just straight up declined.
Yeah.
Probably a good move.
Yeah.
Not that he would have been great in this movie anyway, but and then obviously then it went to Terry Crews.
That probably worked out for the best, I will say.
Probably. I mean, that's what the movie needs is comedy, and Terry Crews could have brought more if it was written for him, but at least it's the options there with him.
Well enough with what he was given.
I felt like the most underutilized actor in the whole movie, Terry Crews.
Yeah. Someone who can act.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. True or false? Eric Roberts and Steve Austin both play different iterations of the same Batman villain.
Oh,
true.
Marconi? True. Yeah, true. Sorry, I said the answer of the villain.
Trick question, false.
Dang.
Sorry. Eric Roberts played Marconi, but
yeah.
Also David Zayas, who played General what's-his-face, is the other person. I said Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's why I said that, considering how bad of an actor he is.
Yeah, Steve Austin definitely, I don't think has really been in much anything else. Maybe the Tooth Fairy 5 or something.
Steve Austin has his own television show.
Does he really?
Yeah, he travels America.
Oh, okay. So like not acting, like just being himself. Okay.
Yeah.
Still probably not very good. All right.
I smell a future episode.
What's the body count in this movie?
It's all part of the cinematic universe. We have to watch all of the reality shows that these people have. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. What's the body count in this movie?
We were hoping you were going to ask this.
Yeah, I've got. I'm just going to say an even 100.
I was gonna. I'll say 200. I think it's pretty up there.
CJ, you're closer. It's 188.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a lot. How do people figure this out? By the way,
Like, they have body count by person. I feel like that'd be a nice split. I'd want to see which of the Expendables, how many people they killed each.
Their kill counts.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
I feel like Terry Crews is probably
pretty high up there.
Probably.
But if you count that,
blowing up that whole pier.
Yeah, that's Jason Statham with the flare gun. Does that count? Go to him.
All right. How are we looking on points?
If I did this right, Steve is up 3-2.
Okay. What is the Rotten Tomato media score in percentage closest without going over? For those who don't know, this is the critics score on Rotten Tomatoes. Steve, since you're in the lead, you will go first to give CJ the edge to tie it up.
So this will probably be my first time giving a movie a more accurate guess on this.
Okay. Yeah, you're not as biased with these.
This is
right?
new for me. Yeah, I think I'm watching this as people watch other movies. I'm learning about cinema and film. This was a horrible movie. It was so bad, but I feel like people probably liked the cast.
The critics? You think critics liked the cast?
Yeah, well, maybe. Okay. I'd probably give it like a 30.
Okay.
I was thinking 20, but I'm gonna give it 30.
That's a really good guess. That's right about where I think I would have put this. I'll say, oh man, do I think I got less than that? Yeah, sure. I'll go $1.
And Steve, you said 30?
I said 30.
Okay, you overshot it for sure. So, Siege, you tied it up, but it is 24%.
Oh. So I was right. Yeah, I was gonna say 20 or 30.
Yeah,
I was around it.
Okay, here's the tiebreaker. I'm gonna need you all to say your answer at the same time. But what is the Letterboxd score out of 5 to 1 decimal point?
2.1. Oh, I was supposed to wait.
I'll say like 1.5. I was gonna go lower.
It is 2.7.
Wow.
But that makes Tollman our winner. Congratulations. Wow.
People love it on Letterboxd.
It averages out pretty well on Letterboxd, it seems like.
Dang.
I will tell you the IMDb rating was, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes was 64%, which is pretty decent. Yeah.
It'd probably drop if Arnold wasn't in it. I think his one scene was crucial.
Yeah. Really setting up the plot.
Put that in the trailer, people get fired up.
All right, well, it's time for our ratings then.
You've heard us debating, we know you've been waiting, so now it's time to hear our ratings.
That sting is really juxtaposed by the movie that we watched. Oh, by the way, So before we get to our ratings, the very first thing that you see when you watch this movie is the Lionsgate like thing that they put at the beginning of the movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like
no, that's MGM.
It would normally be a roar or something else, but they used the like horror movie version where there's like spikes and like barbed wire and a bunch of stuff, and it was really strange. Anyway,
I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah. I maybe have fast forwarded to the start of the movie and skipped over that.
I mean, the movie's pretty scary. Not for the right reason.
I mean, there's a lot of killing.
It is rated R.
Waterboarding.
Yeah, God.
All right, Tollman, what would you rate this movie out of 10 for you?
I'd give this a 3 out of 10.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, if it's over 5, I'd watch it again, kind of thing.
It's up to you. It's whatever you're rating.
That's usually Ken's
okay.
scale.
That's what you.
That's
okay.
mine, but yeah.
I'd watch this again in the right context, but I think it's a horrible movie. So I'll do 3.5. 3.5. That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the action sequences were fine. They weren't even as good as they could have been, to be honest. And that was the only part of the movie that was worth it. Right. And then the basketball scene gave it the extra half point for me.
Got it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that was the best scene in the movie. Really good, strong female characters. But that both got punched. Glad Buffy's friend was in it. Sylvester Stallone maybe made out like 10% of his dialogue.
Yeah.
There's room for improvement, but I'm cautiously optimistic about the next one because usually sequels get better every time.
Yeah, totally.
I genuinely think that's going to be the case for this.
I mean, the bar is low, so I'd hope so.
Right.
Yeah.
Siege.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, totally agree that this movie sucks, but I had a ton of fun. Like watching it with friends and just shitting on the movie the entire time is the right way to watch this movie, I think. But it's absolutely terrible. It was so annoying having to change the volume a good 10 to 15 decibels anytime a scene changed. God. Could barely understand any of the dialogue, barely a plot. Acting's terrible. Like a 2.5. I liked that a guy got decapitated with a blade, just clean off, and then the Brit having his neck broken from like a kick coming from above.
Yeah,
very
he was, like,
high,
bending backwards, and his head snapped backwards.
Yeah, that was great. It horrified Carissa, which also made it more enjoyable, I think.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah, all in all, I think 2.5. There's room for improvement for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Ken.
For me, 1 point for being a movie.
There it is.
1 point for all of the people in the movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Half a point for the basketball scene.
Okay.
And
end of list.
Half a point for some of the brutal kills. So three for me.
3. Okay.
All right. I had the highest rating on this movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
Some things never change, huh?
That's right. Well, folks, I think we all know what's coming next week, Expendables 2. So if you're watching along, be sure to check it out on Max.
Yeah, and make sure to go to the extras and watch the extended cut.
I know. We're doing that
if
for
there
sure.
is one.
Yeah, we're going to do that for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be better. I think now that I know all the characters' names, I'll have more invested in this movie, and it'll mean more to me. So I can find out what happens with Toll Road and Hail Caesar,
right?
And Trench, and Mr. Church.
French.
I hope he comes back.
The return of Mr. Church.
Steve, anything you want to plug or words of wisdom at the end here?
Yeah, I guess just keep an open mind and expand your horizons. Here I am watching new movies for the first time in my whole life.
That's right.
And the first one I watched outside of the ones I really like was horrible. And
yeah, true.
I'm going to keep going because it really fits the core of the Fast and Furious franchise. And that's what life and cars are all about.
To live your life a quarter movie at a time.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. Quarter franchise at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. See, what do we got?
You can follow us on all the things at Overtalking Pod. Call or text us at USACat1591. Email us at overtalkabout@gmail.com. Write in to tell us whether or not this was a good idea to suffer through 3 more of these. Go to our website, overtalkingpod.party. You can type the word Steve to find all of his previous episodes.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you. If you're going to watch along, like,
especially
please let us know.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
And if you have another suggestion for a franchise we should tackle, I even though this movie sucks shit, I do like the idea of us doing a franchise at a time. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. Oh no, they're here, blasting through with machine guns and grenades. It's the Overtalking Expendables Lords. Doesn't quite work with like it did with May.
It's so clean with May. Expendables.
That worked with May.
So clean.
I know, right? Look, they're here to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and rate and review where applicable. Reviews help people find this podcast. Also, we spend enough money in advertising. So if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. We need more money for our family. Thank you.
Oh, wait, just kidding. We don't have a family.
Wait, I don't have a family.
And as we say at the end of every single episode...
The boys are back in town.
Woo!
For the whole month.
The whole month, baby!
That's right.
ExpendMaybles.
ExpendMaybles.
Oh, I said it wrong.
Bye.
Expert slow fade out.
Yeah, that was good.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Kenny CJ and by CJ. This week's special guest was Steve. Music by the Snowitas. My name is Richard. On Instagram and Richard Design.